This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the Grand Bahama Shipyard is a big player in Grand Bahama's industrial sector. It continues to hold its own and is considered the leading ship repair facility in the region. A man who has seen the company through much of its success is moving on, but he says the facility will continue to excel.
It's good working. Yeah, you too. It's been a pleasure working with you too.
It is a bittersweet feeling as CEO and chairman of the Grand Bahama Shipyard, Carl Watkirch, gives hugs and receives well wishes from his staff on his last day of work. Watkirch has been at the helm of the ship care facility for the past 7 years, and he takes a look down memory lane. He is pleased that he helped to make the organization become a more organized operation.
We have made great strides in safety, for example. Our safety records have improved dramatically over these years. And the thing that our clients seem to like is that our housekeeping is very good. They tell us that they seldom come to a yard and see such tidy venues.
In running a tight ship, Watkirch has doubled the revenue at the Grand Bahama Shipyard, developed the offshore market, and ensured that the corporate giant remain good corporate citizens by adopting the 8 Mile Rock High School, hosting an annual fishing tournament, and by revamping one of the strongest apprenticeship programs in the country. While he's proud of his achievement, his fondest memory is the interaction of people.
In the very beginning, it wasn't always that fun to come to work, but after a little while, when I felt that things started to roll, I have always enjoyed coming to work because everybody has been friendly, everybody has been ready to work together, and that I think is one important thing.
The soon-to-be retired Watkirch adds that one of his proudest moments was last February when they had the opportunity to serve as the allure of the seas.
Making the docking happen where something that wasn't necessarily in principle possible, we made possible in this yard, and brought the biggest cruise ship to a point where it could be repaired, and also it was supposed to be repaired in 6 days, and we did it in 4.5 days.
Watkirch returns to Finland on Monday. His successor will be acting president Ruben Bird. Here is his parting words of advice.
Be patient in every situation where you can feel threat or where you can feel that you are challenged or something. Be patient and look over your alternative solutions and take a night to sleep on it and make the decisions the next day.
Well, Grand Bahama is the only island in the country that has services of the Lions Club. A new chapter of the organization was chartered over the weekend, and plans are already in motion for this new group to play an active role in the community.
My Mary, that's congratulations.
That's how excited new member Alfred Stubbs is to be a part of this historic occasion. 31 persons were installed as members of the newest Lions Club on the island. The Locayan Lions Club is the third to be chartered on Grand Bahama, and Stubbs says he is ready to serve this community.
Everybody should jump on an opportunity to serve one's fellow man. And the Lions Club is a club that provides that opportunity for me. And wanting to always be in a position to do so, when the invitation was extended to join the club, I jumped for it.
At the helm of the new club is newly elected President Clarence Reckley. Reckley served as a president on 2 previous occasions and says plans include site screening for children in East and West Grand Bahama, among many other initiatives.
One of the first objectives is to launch a publicity campaign to ensure that the community at large know about Lionism and know the work that we do within the Grand Bahama community. Secondly, we want to continue to work along with the Cancer Society. We want to work along with the Cancer Association. We want to work along with the Grand Bahama Diabetic Association, because we know diabetes causes blindness. Our main focus is sight conservation, and we feel if we can eradicate or at least reduce some of the cases in diabetes, we will reduce some of the cases of eye problems.
Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, was also in attendance.
I'd just like to personally thank the outgoing governor, Dudley, for an excellent work that he's done, not only in the Bahamas, but throughout the Caribbean. But today, the installation is with the installation of Mr. Reckley, and the outgoing president would be Mr. Colley. So I'm here to support them because of the great work they're doing in Grand Bahama.
New member Leon Cooper says now is the time to get involved and be a part of an organization that truly makes a difference.
So often we hear about people who say they want to give back. Here's a real, tangible way to actually go ahead and do some things with the community, for the community, and to see it grow and to see it do better and to leave it better than we met it.
The newly installed district governor was also in attendance. Well, former employees of Bahamas supermarkets continuing the battle for monies that they say are owed to them following the closure of City Market and Winn-Dixie stores on Grand Bahama in 2012. It was recently announced that the matter will be heard before the courts here in Grand Bahama. It has been a hard-fought battle so far, and there appears to be some movement on the island as leaders in the fight say closure is imminent. The former employees and the representative, along with the attorney, are expected to meet with former employees around noon tomorrow at St. George's High School. The long-awaited severance pay and pension are up for discussion. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Two local companies joining forces to invest in the future of Grand Bahama. Sabrina Brown fills us in.
Mother Wellbridge BCAM has been operating in the Grand Bahama community for the past 20 years. The engineering construction company has provided a number of scholarships to young people over the years, but this time the recipient is a student of the Beacon School. General Manager at Mother Wellbridge, Larry Russell.
We are delighted that Barry will go through this welding training program, and then he will have an opportunity to come and work for our company. And so that's a real good opportunity. Barry hasn't even started welding yet, and he has an opportunity for a job.
The scholarship is for training at the Pine Yard Technical Institute. Owner Eddie Anderson says recipient Barry Wilshcombe completed on-the-job training at Pine Yard Steel, and his performance was impressive.
We were more also impressed with his interest. Out of all of our trainees in the last 10 years, Barry and the other trainee were the only training that report to work at 7:45. Everybody else came to work at 9 o'clock. This was a sign that this is the young man that we need to invest in.
Barry and his mother, Patrice Wilshcombe, are grateful for the opportunity.
I thank God that I make it. I want to thank Mr. Scott for pushing me there, and thank the boss for training me, and I want to thank my principal and my family supporting me.
I must put God first ahead of everything, and to teach those that any child believe that the school to believe that where he went, others can get much further.
Principal at the Beacon School, T.T. Mackenzie Moss, is proud of Barry's accomplishment.
It is wonderful when persons in the community can come and help our students. You know, many times our kids are left out of a lot of things that's happening, but the fact that Ms. Anderson took the initiative and provided the scholarship for Barry, we are very happy.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Congratulations to you, Barry. Well, the Grand Bahama Health Services coming together to honor the chaplains that dedicate their time and service to the hospital. A luncheon was held on Friday as a show of appreciation for their labor of love. Italia Hall has this story.
The Grand Bahama Health Service is honoring the men of the cloth who provide an important service to its patients while in hospital. An appreciation luncheon was held under the theme Privileged to Serve in God's Ministry of Healthy Help, Hope and Healing. Minister for Grand Bahama Dr. Michael Darville reflected on the important role chaplains play in a hospital environment.
You know, when I worked at the Rand Memorial Hospital, the chaplains played a very intricate role. because in many instances when we are addressing severe diseases affecting human life, it has a great emotional component and spiritual component, and it is always good to know that they are on the wards and they're making a great difference in the lives of the sick, the disenfranchised, the elderly, and those who utilize Grand Bahama Health Services on a regular basis.
Many chaplains turned out for the appreciation luncheon, and they say they consider it a privilege to be able to serve.
I'm elated because the staff of the hospital, the administration has considered us worthy enough to be honored, and they're saying thank you.
Been a chaplain here at Durand Memorial Hospital for many, many years, assisting with the patient care, giving spiritual directions and spiritual guidance. A lot of times the caregivers are often overlooked, so we've had the opportunity to relate even to the caregivers, especially when staff members pass.
Persons who come into the hospital, and every now and then they need just a little extra encouragement, and to be able to be a part of this team of chaplains that seeks to try to just make a little bit of a difference in the lives of individuals, it's a marvelous experience.
Guest speaker of the event was pastor of Zion Baptist Church, East and Shirley Street from New Providence, Reverend Terrence G. Morrison.
Human beings are just not made up of anatomical or scientific realities. We are spiritual beings, and there comes a point where spirituality has to be a part of our wholeness and our wellness. I just want to pray that God would bless and inspire those who engage in this ministry, for us as a wider community to recognize that there are many demands being placed on the healthcare services based on the social unraveling, and so a ministry that is being offered by chaplains is very, very essential.
Members of the Grand Bahama Health Services team thank the chaplains for the great work they are doing and for helping to make life in hospital a whole lot easier for the patients. Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
The Kiwanis Club of Nassau extending a helping hand to the Grand Bahama Red Cross Society. The donation will go towards the Meals on Wheels program that provides a hot meal for close to 50 persons a day. President of the Kiwanis Club Nassau, Kelly Hanna, says they were told that the program was in dire need and they decided to step in.
We got donations from members, donations from organizations, other organizations in New Providence, and we were able to donate here today a total sum of $3,000 on behalf of the Kiwanis Club of Nassau AM. We also have checks from other Kiwanis clubs because we wanted them to get involved as well.
And we were contacted by our club in Nassau, and they indicated they were coming on our home turf, and then there was a need here that we could assist with. We were very grateful for the opportunity. And so we spoke with Ms. Barr, and we are pleased to partner with this venture today to give them a donation on the Meals on Wheels.
Well, for members of the Kiwanis Club, the donation is in keeping with its mission to touch lives in a positive way. Red Cross Administrator Stephanie Barr says she's grateful for the assistance.
We are so grateful and thankful to the Nassau Kiwanis, the three clubs that offered themselves, and they saw the need that we have here, as they are great in Grand Bahama. Also our Freeport group here, we are so grateful and thankful to them. As it's so timely now because our pantry is empty and persons come to the door and we're unable to help them. And plus our Meals on Wheels. We feed 50 persons every day for 5 days a week. So we are so grateful that they've come to assist with some of our challenges here in Grand Bahama.
And now to our nightly feature, Ask the Doctor.
Hi, I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Sammy from Nassau asks, I have high blood pressure and I'm on medication for it, but sometimes I go a few days or weeks before I refill my prescription. My family scolds me, but am I really taking that big of a chance going without my pills for a few days? Because of this question, I would like to use the next several days to discuss this important topic of hypertension. First, I will begin by saying thank you, Sammy, for your honesty and for your question. And the short answer is yes, you are taking a chance with your health if you're not being consistent with your high blood pressure medications. Uncontrolled hypertension, what we call high blood pressure, greatly increases your likelihood of a heart attack and stroke. And the medication you are prescribed helps to keep your blood pressure under control. It is important to understand what your blood pressure is and why it is important to keep your blood pressure within a healthy, normal range. Blood pressure is determined by the amount of blood your heart pumps and the amount of resistance to blood flow in your arteries. The more blood your heart pumps and the more narrow your arteries are, the higher your blood pressure. Whenever your blood pressure is checked, you should pay attention to the results. If it is over 140/90, then you may need medications to control it. You should also make every effort to lower your blood pressure by increasing your physical activity, eating a diet that is low in salt and fat and rich in fruit and vegetables, and losing weight if you are overweight. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Stay with us. Sabrina Brown has a check on sports when we come back.
Good evening and welcome to sports. I'm Sabrina Brown. The Bahamas women's national basketball team winning the Caribbean Basketball Confederation Championship. Team Bahamas defeated Jamaica 55-51 in Tortola, British Virgin Islands Friday night to win the title. Shanae Bristol led Team Bahamas with 16 points and 7 rebounds. Felicia Kelly added 12. Shalonda Neely 6 points and 16 boards. The ladies advancing to the Central Basket, and BBF President Charlie Softly Robbins has reason to celebrate.
I must say that Yolette and our staff did a fantastic job. I could have sworn that we had lost to Barbados until they went into their bag. Yolette set up a whole course press, just like I'm sure her father would have done, and beat Barbados. And the next night, I'd already, me and my wife tried to find the site where the game was on. By the time as I got it, we were down in the game again. I said, well, here we go again. So I got something to eat and sat down to the table and started watching the game. When she went into her bag again and came out victorious again. Ricardo, I was so happy. I had to get a glass of wine, sit back and say, oh, what a time to be president of the Bahamas Basketball Federation.
Coach Yolette McPhee and her staff rallied the girls, and it's a total team effort. The Centro is next.
I hope that this time that we can get the help that we needs from the government so that we can take our best teams. We hadn't taken our best teams yet. We still have 2 great players and ladies that's still refusing to go with us. We had a little problem with 2 of our best basketball players this time, but we can understand that because the summertime usually be summer schools, and it's a very important time for Buddy. But I'm sure that if the men qualify, or when the men qualify, that we're going to have our best 2 teams this time in CBC.
Earlier today, the men defeated Bermuda 57-38. Magnum Roll led Team Bahamas with 11 points and 9 rebounds. Kentuan Smith 8 points and 5 boards. David Nesbitt scored 6 points and cleared 10 rebounds. Well, June 19th and 20th designated for the Nemours celebration. Ricardo Lightbourne fills us in.
Basil and Paula Nemours for years gave from their heart to help build the Bahamas. Regardless of the island, city, or constituency, the Nemours did much to help. Mr. Nemours loved sports and thus crowned the godfather of sports. Children and their development was near and dear to him. June 19th and 20th has been designated the Nemours Days for friends of Basil Nemours. The 19th, it's basketball. The Jack Hayward Jim says, Emmett Higgins.
We want to say thank you for a man that has done so much for the Grand Bahama community, not only the Grand Bahama community, but the Bahamas at large. He was such a giving individual, and I think it's time, we just stop and say thanks for all that he would have done, for us as a people.
Saturday is track and field at the GB Sports Complex. Anita Doherty says the spirit of giving and helping all coaches and athletes are now committed.
Mr. Nemours did so much for all of us, whether it's our schools, whether it's our children, whether it was our islands. He was a man who continually gave back. And we just think it's fitting at this time for us to give something back to him, to give something back to his widow, to ensure that people don't forget the kindness, the kind of man that he was. And this is a small token to show the appreciation of us here in Grand Bahama for all the things that he's done for us as Bahamians.
The Family Island athletes today are far better off because of Mr. Nemore. Coaches can coach and get a fair shake for their athletes. Basil led the fight until his death, and that fight continues for Family Island athletes. Give them a fair shake and the opportunity to be the best that they can in the Bahamas.
The Abaco Softball Association with a busy weekend on the diamond. In ladies play, the Abaco Grocery Diamond Dolls defeated Major Payne 13-1. Tika Russell posted a 3-for-3 and 6 RBI game. Tracy Aubrey went the distance, striking out 7 batters. The loss to Nikita Reckley. The Lady Legends held off Major Payne 14-6. Julie Dawkins with a 3-for-3 and 3 RBI appearance. At the plate, Brazilla Buck Kelly threw a 5-hitter and struck out 8 batters. The loss to Tessa Lewis. On the men's board, the Latima Destroyers stopped the Sluggers 18-9. Todd Thompson was 4-for-5 and recorded 8 runs batted in. Josh Roll went the distance, striking out 8. Kevin Hicks saddled with the loss. The AG Turf Bulldogs shut out the Sluggers 7-0. Tyler Josie Wells Russell threw a no-hitter and struck out 11 batters. William Weatherford was 3-for-3 and went yard. The loss to Kevin Hicks. And that's your sports tonight.